Winneman Lake First Nation recently celebrated the opening of their brand new school. Lee Noonan traveled to the remote community and has the details.
This September, students in Winneman Lake headed to class in a big new building. The First Nations celebrated the opening of the John George Martin Memorial School this fall, although the school first opened in January. Tommy Sainawup, Winneman Education Director, calls the new building a gift.
The children are very happy with the new school, and there's more enthusiasm for them to come to school and to be in school too. Plus the staff too, it's not just the students and the teachers, and they were looking forward to it.
The new school is much bigger. Sainawup says they were able to hire 30 new staff this year through Jordan's principal, staff they wouldn't have had room for before. With students from junior kindergarten right up to grade 10 under one roof, the new building has separate wings for older and younger grades. The walls feature bilingual signage, and all classes are taught in Anishinaabemowin until grade 2. Despite this, Sainawup says he's seen a decline in fluency over the past decade.
Students are losing their language. They only speak English.
Language instruction is also a priority for Chief Sam Mamakwa. He says it's a matter of identity.
We know where that problem comes from, but I don't know, it's a hard one to deal with. Yeah. It's not because we don't like the language.
Kids we spoke with have mixed feelings about the new building. Some miss the old school, but they do like the new amenities like the gym and cultural room. How do you like this new school compared to your old school?
Good.
The languages are so cool and beautiful.
The new school is kind of boring.
This year, 140 students will be completing their first full year of school here in the new building. Lee Noonan, TBT News.
The first time since 2020, the arena in Red Rock is once again open to the community. The rink inside the township's recreation center was first closed during the pandemic and then had a major mechanical setback. Skaters and hockey players in Red Rock are finally able to strap on the blades and hit the ice surface. The township received $152,000 last year from the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund, and around $87,000 of that went towards repairing the arena. Red Rock Mayor Darquise Robinson says she's grateful to have it up and running again and hopes the community will make the most out of it.
So kids have been on it. It's great to have it back. So it was closed for a couple of years with COVID, and then we had a plant malfunction, so that had to be repaired. So we were lucky enough to get approval from NOHFC to get funding to run that plant. So it's up and running. It looks great, and can't wait for everybody to get out there.
A weekly schedule for ice bookings can be found on the township's Facebook page or at the Recreation Centre. A Northwestern Ontario athlete is being featured by the Toronto Raptors in their celebration of Indigenous Athletes campaign. Emily Mandamin of Shoal Lake 39 First Nation is a forward with the University of Manitoba Bisons. The Raptors dedicated Wednesday's game to Indigenous heritage and launched an awareness campaign in collaboration with the Toronto Transit Commission. Mandamin will be one of 8 athletes whose images will be wrapped on streetcars and buses around Toronto over the next 6 weeks.
It's pretty big. It's the size of the whole streetcar. I had received a photo of it last night, and honestly, I just started crying. It kind of I feel like that's when it got real for me, and that's when I realized how many people are going to be able to see it. So a little res girl being on the side of a bus in downtown Toronto is, I never would have pictured it or thought that's something that I would be able to do.
Mandamin says she hopes the campaign will help raise awareness of the barriers faced by Indigenous youth who often don't get the opportunities and support needed to succeed in sport. The campaign is a response to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's call to Action 87, which calls for more public education telling the story of Indigenous athletes in Canada. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Northwest News Week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.